Craig Tuescher. I just had a great dream, a mind-blowing dream about current events, about things that are happening now. And I was woken up just in time to save it. They're blowing this place, homeboy. It's near the end, and they're actually blowing this place. And I mean, not leaving, well, in a way, leaving, because they're trying to figure out how to get to Mars and Jupiter and Venus and all these different places. But they're blowing this place because it's almost the end. And it goes like this. The virus hit too many places too quickly. It wasn't a slow spread. The virus hit everywhere all at once. And it's impossible unless they do it on purpose. And was it China? It wasn't even China, homeboy. It was probably the United States because we're so fucking evil. People don't realize it. But the virus hit so many places at one time, it's impossible for it to be natural. And people that don't even know anything know that this virus isn't natural because it's mutating too quickly. This virus was made and deposited in China by the CIA on purpose to set up the end of the game, man. That's what this is. Craig Tuescher, I told you one time on the field before we did battle against, who was it that we played? We played Steve Taylor's team from inner city, San Diego, Lincoln. And I told you about mice and how when mice go crazy in population, they stop acting like mice and they go to war on each other. It's like humanity. And you took that idea to Princeton, homeboy, because my idea, they spent how many millions of dollars studying mice, coming up to the same conclusions I did when I was 8 years old. Craig, this virus was on purpose. They're getting ready to blow the spot, and they're getting ready to take the virus that humanity has become off planet, and we could stop it. Stevia has a huge high pH, off the charts. Its pH, I don't even know what pH stands for, and I have 154 IQ, but I know that when you have a high pH, it's almost impossible for you to get sick. That's why I haven't had any sicknesses in the last 12 years. I've been using stevia. If everybody was using stevia, this virus wouldn't be able to spread. If everybody was wearing masks and got the vaccination and was using stevia, the virus wouldn't spread. People wouldn't die. It'd be even worse than it already is. People don't realize, man, China is overpopulated. They've had 6,000 years to get overpopulated. America is becoming China in the last 250 because people aren't dying like they used to. And there's too many people having kids. Let me get back to what I started on. They're blowing the spot, Craig. They're taking it on purpose. They're setting up a scenario where they can do anything they want to because one catastrophe leads to another, and it's like, oh well, oh well, oh well. Anyway, Craig Tuescher, I've discovered a miracle that could save this planet and kill it at the same time. I've discovered a miracle that would make people live into their hundreds easily, but with our reproduction process, we'd kill it because there'd be too many people using too many resources. And if you didn't know it, Craig, you with your brilliance going to Princeton on a full ride scholarship for your academics, We're killing this planet right now using the internal combustion engine. We take a liquid that's filled with water, put it into a machine that sears that water past its durability phase, rate, whatever, and turns it into smoke. Einstein was wrong when he said that nothing ever vanishes because water is vanishing. We're vanishing the water on this planet. We're replacing it with the petroleum chemicals that they use, that they pump petroleum out of the ground. You know this. And then they do a lot of different tests and a lot of different little things to it. And some of it goes into gasoline. And most of it goes into tubes of toothpaste and cream and this and that we put on our bodies and wash down the sink and the drain. Where does that stuff go? Well, I always thought, isn't it kind of funny how water turns into vapor, smoke, you know, but it's never rising in the lakes and the streams and the oceans? Well, you know what? I realized that we're vanishing water in our gas tanks by the internal combustion engine, and we're replacing it with all the stuff that we pour down the sink and the drain, homeboy. That's where the trade-off is. And the trade-off in these masks, people are getting away with a lot of shit these days because everybody has to wear a mask, and so how are you going to point them out in court? You know, I just woke up like this, Craig. I used to think I was ugly. When I would look at women and they would look away really quick, I used to think, my God, man, I must be one ugly motherfucker. It was actually the other way around, Craig. I was good looking and they were intimidated. And that's why people were seeking me out to try and kick my ass when I was in high school and even younger. But they didn't realize that I was different. There's some guys out there that are different. Some guys that are world champs that are different, like Frank Mir, you know. And I'm different too, retard strong. People don't realize when they fuck with me how strong I am, how hard I punch. I was genetically engineered. I'm not the only one. There's more of us out there. But back to the topic, Craig. They're blowing this place, homeboy. They're setting it up so they can actually make a final getaway off this planet and leave a swath of destruction in its path. We're vanishing all the water. People are getting sick. Things are going to chaos. And you're sitting where you're sitting and you're forgetting the promise that you made me. I told you if I tell you this and you take it to Princeton and they do something with it, you're going to owe me. Remember when we shook hands on that? I was a captain before Lincoln, and I told you that I saw mice go crazy in a cage when they were in equilibrium and they were touching noses and acting like mice. They were like natural animals. And when the breeding process took over, they started acting like humans. And you're like, wow, that's really smart. And I'm like, yeah, they told me I was a genius, you know? And I said, if you take that to Princeton and they do anything with it, you owe me. And we shook hands on $5 million. I tell you what, Craig, $5 million would be more than enough for me to validate that I discovered the fountain of youth, how to make it, put stevia in water, blend, all the toxic shit we've been polluting this planet with, floats like soap for easy removal, get it out, and cancerous cats drink it and come back into perfect health. 17-year-old cancerous cats that are skeleton thin and sneezing blood bubbles about to be put to sleep at the vet, drink it, lap themselves into perfect health. That leads to my uncle drinking it. My uncle, who was obese, had just lost his prostate to cancer, was diagnosed with 6 precancerous breast tumors, who thought his life was over, drinking that water that I call the fountain of youth. In perfect health, brother. He lost 6 tumors and 74 pounds of flabby fat in 4 months, drinking pure H2O. Bottle pure H2O up and sell it, and we're the richest men on the planet. You hung with the richest men on the planet. Why do you think you were Was it David Rockefeller's roommate? Why do you think you were David Rockefeller's roommate at Princeton, Craig? They saw you. They planned for it. They offered you a scholarship. They offered you this free room with David Rockefeller's grandson. It was on purpose, brother. They were trying to cull you from your herd that you were born to so you wouldn't hang out with all your friends and you would make new friends. You gotta remember where you came from, Craig, and finance me because I'm about to become the richest man on the planet and I'm gonna stop all this shit. Okay? I had a vision, Craig. I had a vision, one of many that I've had, and it was about the fountain of orgasms for women. And if you don't do this on your wife, after how many kids you've probably given her, being a Mormon, you have no morals. Polarize her G-spot from the top and the bottom at the same time, and it will send her to the fountain of orgasm and pleasure. Okay? 2 fingers in and up to the bottom of the G-spot like people usually do. But now, your offhand isn't grabbing nipple or pinching ass, or reverse it, pinching nipple, grabbing ass. It's pressing down on the belly, just below the belly button, and it's compressing and polarizing the G-spot from the top and the bottom at the same time. And with pressure and a violent action like that, you can take women to 1 to 2 and even more orgasms per minute. I say even more is possible because every time you hit it like that, it gives them an orgasmic feeling. But doing too much too quick wears them out. Anyway, when you do that, you figure out that it's actually a miracle. Know that stevia was probably used in the atomic process to split water, but stevia splits water into a natural gas inside the blender that you and your friends can make engines to run cars off of, okay? We don't have to use gasoline anymore. We don't have to go to electricity. Electricity, I think, is dangerous in some way in the processing. In anyways, that's beside the point. I'm at 12 minutes right now. Play the violin, Craig. See that it's a miracle. Know that stevia is more of a miracle for the human body and for humanity. It turns water into a fuel that we can use to build spaceships to go to places. I mean, we can't even go from New York to Los Angeles without stopping how many times for a gas or a tank of water. How do we expect to get to Pluto and Mars, okay, alive? Can't be done right now. Anyway, yes, when we've got the latest news for you. Nothing big this time. I get these little pop-ups, and I'm like a monkey. I see something shiny, and I run for it, try to grab it. That's how they used to snare monkeys in the jungle, put shiny objects in holes that were too big for the fists when they grabbed them, and they got stuck. We're just like monkeys, Craig. And if you didn't know it, we were monkeys until they came to Earth and genetically engineered us to be different. They, the same people that poured the concrete pyramids in Egypt, they, the same people that banished women from the head of the table. Roman Reigns, head of the table. Did you know that women used to be in charge, used to run shit? We didn't used to be in competition with each other. We used to actually be in a symbiotic relationship with each other where there was enough and there was too much and people didn't need more. Anyway, Craig, back to you. You owe me $5 million for a handshake, and I'm going to take you to court on it. You're worth over $100 million now. We shook hands on that idea about mice in equilibrium being mice, and when you change the equilibrium and overpopulation, how they turn into humans, Princeton spent millions of dollars studying that same idea when you were there, and there's no way, there's no coincidence about it. Okay, you took that idea, and they took it and they ran with it. You owe me $5 million, and I'm going to use that $5 million to find a cancer victim, or one or two, with $5 million, terminal, hopefully terminal, okay, that will drink pure H2O back into perfect health, get it the most profitable and popular drink on the planet, put some money in my pocket so I can go about saving humanity, which was like one of the times that I was enveloped in a golden halo that brought me to my knees and told me I was supposed to do. Goodbye, Craig.